Today on P2Aero, we're continuing the Rans S21 build. I encourage you to go check out their website if you want more info on this aircraft as well as the other models they offer. There's a link in the description below. With the bulkheads complete, it's time to assemble the belly of the beast. I've laid out the stringers and the lower longerons on the skin. I'll cut everything and do a quick filing on the end just to remove any sharp edges. I'll go over every piece in detail at a later time before final assembly. I just mainly want to make sure I'm not going to cut myself while I mock things up. These pieces are the cover plates for the tailwheel cable slots. In my case, I won't need these, but if I had a trike configuration, I'd be fitting these up. After those edges were cleaned up, I flipped the whole assembly over on some sawhorses, and then I mocked up all the bulkheads. I always try to mock things up as far ahead as I can just to make sure I've got a good picture of what's to come. All these parts interact with each other, and it's good for me to see it in real life just to get a good grasp on it. Plus, it helps me develop a workflow for when it's time to put things together permanently. I decided to go ahead and mock up one of the side skins as well for a few different reasons. Mostly I wanted to confirm that the bulkhead flange angles were correct. You'll see here on Station 7 it's tweaked just a bit, so I marked the flange causing the issue so I would remember to adjust that once I take things back apart. Station 9 gets a few brackets for the tailwheel cable pulleys. I'm not sure this is the exact pulley that goes here, but I just used it to space out the brackets while I drilled into the bulkheads. There's a few holes to drill in the skin where the tailwheel mounts go. Now's the time to mark those and take care of them while this thing is still small enough to orient things easily. With all the bulkheads removed again, it's time to prep all the belly skin and parts for final assembly. I took each one off one at a time, and deburred every hole and edge that needed it. I find that a blue Scotch-Brite disc on a Dotco works well for the stringers and longerons. This is super time consuming, but an important step in ensuring the structural integrity of these parts. The intent is not only to remove the raised areas, allowing for proper fitment between the parts, but also to remove and smooth the edges, eliminating stress risers and valleys that could lead to cracking later on down the road. It's time to put the rivets in these parts for good. I generally have one length of rivet out at a time, and I try to do all the spots that require that length at the same time. The plans are clear at where these different lengths go, but if you stop and think about it, it makes sense that the more material you're going through, the longer that fastener should be. If you get to a doubler, it should cause you to refer to the engineering documentation and confirm that you're not screwing something up. You'll also see tape covering some of the holes. These are areas that the plans have indicated that don't get fasteners yet. It's simply there to remind me that I don't need to do that now. And I'm going to wrap this one up with the nut plates for these access hole covers. I could have done this later, but being upside down on the sawhorses sure made it an easy time to knock it out. Next time we'll start with final install of the bulkheads and the side skins, moving us one step closer to mating the tail cone to the fuselage cage. It's getting real here. Things are starting to look like an airplane. Subscribe to stay up to date on the process, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.